Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here today to another edition of NASCAR Heat 5 on the channel. Another full race live stream for you guys. We DNF'd obviously at New Hampshire. That is why we are doing another race today. We were only halfway through that one, so we will run the Truck Series regular season finale at Michigan in the Corrigan Oil 200, a 100-lap event around this 2-mile racetrack, so 200 miles total for the length today. This is going to be a fun race. I can already imagine playoff implications on the line. Again, this is the last chance for these Truck Series drivers to make their way in. We have 8 drivers locked into the playoffs right now, 4 of them on wins and 4 of them on points. We have 2 more spots open that can mathematically be locked in on points or a win here tonight. And we'll take you through those situations after we get through qualifying for today's race first. So, without further ado, here comes qualifying. We are going to use the steering wheel for this race at Michigan here today. One of the shorter Truck Series races of the season. And it is the last race of the regular season as it is as well. We are going to have a lot on the line and a lot on the table in today's race. So off of turn 4, down to the start-finish line. Here comes the lap for Matt Crafton. 1 lap to try and set the quick time at Michigan. Down to the apron now. Through the tri-oval to the start-finish line. A 40.482 will be the qualifying time. And that will be 14th fastest for Matt Crafton in this Truck Series race at Michigan. We'll see who the pole sitter is. Todd Gilliland will start on the pole in the 38 truck. Ben Rhodes will be starting outside pole in second. Ethan, welcome to the stream. I know. Sucks to DNF. It was my fault. It was my fault. I knew the battery was low on the controller before I started, and I just kind of forgot about it. Forgot about changing it before the race started because it alerted me that it was low on battery in qualifying, so I was just going to wait till I got done with qualifying, and then I was going to change it. So, yeah, starts in the middle of the field. Yep, starting in the middle of the field. We'll take you through the playoff scenarios. Playoff clinching scenarios for this final race of the regular season here tonight before we hop on into this. We'll follow this throughout the course of the night as well. So again, 2 more spots are open to be clinched tonight, whether it's on points or a win. A win obviously grants you a playoff spot if you're in the top 20 in the points. Here are the drivers that can mathematically make their way in. On points, first, we've got Austin Hill. He's 9th in points coming into today. He's only 5 points above the playoff cut line. He's going to have a good day. Ben Rhodes, who qualified second on the bubble, he is the last driver in on points. 3 points to the good coming into this race 10th. Again, 10 drivers make the playoffs in the Truck Series field. Brett Moffitt is the first driver outside the playoff cut line. He is only 3 points behind Ben Rhodes right now. So this is the battle really between those 3 on points. They're likely going to be the only drivers to make it in on points, but there is still drivers mathematically that can point their way in. We got Christian Eckes, who is 27 points behind the cutoff line. He could technically get in without having to win if things go right for him. Riley Herbst as well. He is 30 points below the cutoff line, so if he can get a win, he could also point his way. If he can get a win, that would be nice. It would clinch himself into the playoffs, but he can make his way on points. Tanner Gray is 41 points below the playoff cut line, so he likely needs a win, but mathematically, again, he can still point his way in if there are problems for either Moffitt, Rhodes, or Austin Hill. Really, 2 of the 3 he's going to need problems with. And Jordan Anderson is 53 points below the playoff cut line, so he likely needs a win, but mathematically can point his way in if all goes well. And here are the drivers that need to win no matter what. Mathematically, they cannot point their way in. That would be Ty Majeski, Tyler Hill, John Hunter Nemechek, Jesse Little, Austin Wayne Self, Tyler Ankrum, and Natalie Decker have to win today's race. And then the drivers that need to win and need points to get into the top 20 would be Gus Dean. He needs a win and needs to gain 45 points on 20th. The Ford truck, Rafael Assard, needs a win, needs to gain 49 points on 20th. Tate Fogelman needs to gain 50 points on 20th with a win, and needing to gain 51 points on 20th and get a win is Spencer Boyd. So those are the drivers that mathematically can punch their ticket into the playoffs. There's a lot, but we'll cover that over the course of the race if somebody is in contention to get a win. As well as keeping a good track on those three guys that are right on the cutoff line for points. Natalie Decker's been struggling all weekend. Tanner Gray starting at the rear. Not a good way for those two to start this one. And again, Ty Gillen on the pole. So here we go. Doubleheader Monday. We were going to have a doubleheader tomorrow. Looks like we're having it today instead. And just running the Cup race tomorrow. So I guess we're not really going off schedule with anything. We're just bringing this race up a day. That's all. Green flag in the air. 100 laps at Michigan is underway. And it all starts with 20 laps in the opening stage of the race. We saw Matt Crafton also clinch the regular season championship with a win at Eldora in the last race earlier last week. As you see them going 3 wide in turns 1 and 2 out of the gate. And they're 4 wide down the back straightaway. Contact! Crafton gets clipped. They're sliding sideways. Multiple trucks are wrecking. Spencer Boyd saves it. Riley Herbst does not. Herbst goes around. Caution will fly on lap 1. They were 4 wide down the back, and Ty Majeski clipped the left rear of Matt Crafton, which sent him into Riley Herbst and Spencer Boyd. Herbst did not save it. Boyd did, and Boyd, after driving on, will actually hold his position in 11th, and Riley Herbst spun around. I don't know if anybody else got collected back there. It looked like they all missed him as he spun to the inside of the racetrack. So on lap 1, we have a caution already. This is the regular season finale, usually drama-filled. And we're already starting things off with an early caution. That's got to be the earliest I think we've seen a caution ever on the channel. We don't get too many early incidents like this one, especially on the opening lap. Green flag back in the air. Crafton will be in the preferred line on the inside this time. They were 4 wide down the back, and there just wasn't enough room for them. Crafton made a good move, but then the 45 truck moved up, maybe not realizing they were 4 wide or thinking the 88 was already clear of him. But after he had clipped Crafton, it was on from there. That could have been a lot bigger of a wreck than what it ended up being. And here we go now off of turn 2. Crafton to the inside. They're 4 wide again down the back straightaway. Are they going to make it into turn 3 this time? Rhodes lost a lot of ground on the restart. Look at Crafton on the inside. They're 4 wide through turns 3 and 4 again. Up the track goes Crafton now. Are they going to make it off of turn 4? Contact with Zane Smith. My goodness. Well, they made it through lap 1 this time on the restart. Ross Chastain going towards the outside looking for the race lead. He's locked into the playoffs on points. Crafton up there as well. Michigan known for crazy restarts, and we've already seen 2 of them to start the day. Draft works really well here around this 2-mile tri-oval. Crafton goes down to the apron trying to break the draft from the trucks behind him. As well making a pass on Ben Rhodes in the 99. Rhodes was the only one of the 3 drivers that were right on the bubble on points. Those guys that are all within 10 points of one another. They qualified in the top 10, but he's quickly fading. So they go 3 wide now into turn 3. There's a block by Todd Gillen as well. He's going to get to the inside of Enfinger. Crafton had to lift a little extra there. Crafton now on the inside of his teammate Grant Enfinger for position. And going now for the race lead is Todd Gillen to the inside of Stuart Friesen. Crafton clears his teammate Enfinger for third. So Gillen going for the lead. And now Crafton going for second on Friesen. Huge run on the inside as he broke the draft. Down to the apron again. And out to the inside for the race lead into turn one on Todd Gillen. And he's got the spot. Clears it. Crossover by Gillen. Friesen to the inside. They're 3 wide for the lead. Now off of turn two. 3 wide and tight for the lead. The 38 side draft in the 52. The 88 side draft in the 38. Now off into turns 3 and 4. And Stuart Friesen back out in front again, and here comes Sheldon Creed in the 4 truck. Sorry, the 2 truck in 4th, I should have said. So these guys are going at it early here at Michigan already. Only 11 laps left in stage 1. Again, just 20 laps in stage 1, another 20 in stage 2, 60 in the final stage of the race. Ooh, contact. The 38 tried to side draft the 88. That's a little more than side drafting. BMNJ, welcome to the stream. No, NASCAR chase for the Cubs got Pocono. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm pretty sure they got Pocono. I don't remember. I mean, I would assume Mayfield was in the game. I know he was obviously around and driving the 19 car still. 2004. Well, yeah, because he made the chase that year. But I haven't played the game in a while. I couldn't remember if he was in it or not. Oh, cracked into the apron. Look at how loose he got. Nice catch. Had to get it on the brakes, but it was a great catch of the race truck. He obviously is going to lose a lot of ground now down the front stretch. Stuart Friesen still leads. 9 laps to go in stage 1 as these guys battle for a playoff point out in front. And as far as drivers in the top 5, they're already locked into the playoffs, all 5 of them. So far, nobody up towards the front has a chance to lock themselves in with a win. Crafton to the inside with a move, 3 wide. Wow, he drove it in deep. Going off into turns 1 and 2 as he clears the 38 and the 52, but he slides up the racetrack again. That racetrack is a little too tight right now. And Gillen gets him right back. Friesen did not. And Todd Gillen will lead. Crafton has not yet led a lap. And he's only got 8 more to try and get out in front and stay out in front. This 88 truck's got a lot of straightaway speed, though. I'll tell you guys that much. Sage Castillo, welcome to the stream. Nice. Hopefully you enjoy the game. Drafted all the way to the apron in 3 and 4. He's really trying to hook the bottom. Making sure the 38 truck doesn't get back underneath him again. It doesn't look like he will. Can alternate to the different camera angles for the first time today. 6 laps to go in stage 1. Crafton out in front. He's led his first 2 laps of the race now over the last 2 laps. Great battle, though, so far in the early going of this one. One caution that came out on lap 1. After they went 4 wide mid-pack, they did not make it into turn 3, and then they went 4 wide on the next restart, and they did make it into turn 3. There's likely going to be some adjustments made on this 88 truck, though, under the first stage break. 5 laps to go. 1 second lead for Crafton. Well, we don't have to worry about a controller dying like we did on the first race today, so we don't have to worry about DNFing that way. We are using the steering wheel for today's race at Michigan. Cup Series action here on the channel tomorrow at Michigan. We were supposed to run the doubleheader on the channel tomorrow for this race in the Cup Series, but because we moved the truck race up a day due to crashing out early at New Hampshire, we're just doing that race today instead. Since Crafton has actually been able to lead a lap, he is starting to pull away from the field. Coming to the white flag this time by now in stage 1 already. The Corrigan Oil 200 at Michigan, the regular season finale for the Gander Outdoor Truck Series. And we'll get to see where Brett Moffitt, Ben Rhodes, and Austin Hill are running at the end of stage 1. Johnny Sauter's moved himself up to second now over the course of the run here. Sauter qualified outside the top 10, but he's worked his way up here now as well. So no lap traffic in the opening stage. We'll get to the end of it. Stage 1 victory for Matt Crafton. That is another playoff point on the season for him. So Austin Hill will score 3 points. Moffitt scores 1. And Ben Rhodes, who qualified second, doesn't get any points at all here. First pit stops of the day coming up. A half round of wedge being taken out of Crafton's race truck here. And you see the other drivers getting stage points in the opening stage. Ben Rhodes finishes in 11th, so just missing out on stage points there. So that means currently as we run, Austin Hill would be +6 on Moffitt, and Moffitt is only 2 points now behind Ben Rhodes on the bubble. And all the rest of the drivers are already locked into the playoffs that are in the top 10, so sure enough, that's how things are running here at Michigan so far today. Green flag back in the air. We'll have another 20 laps in stage 2. Great jump on the restart there for Kraft, and we'll see how his truck is going to handle now. He seemed a little too tight in stage 1, so that was the call for the wedge adjustment there, taking half a round out. Restarting from the lead is going to help. We'll see if he can hang on to it. You know these restarts can get crazy. They're already fanning out 3x3 in turns 3 and 4. So we're getting up to speed. Johnny Sutter, Todd Gillen side by side. For second. Off into turn 1. Sauter on the outside. Now he comes down and blocks the 38 of Gillen. Three sets of tires left the rest of the way as well for Crafton and his team. But this is one of the shorter races. We won't have to worry about using more than 4 sets of tires. Sauter trying to run Crafton right back down again now that he has been able to get out in front of the 38 truck of Gillen. Crafton already is liking the handling of his truck a lot more than what he did in stage 1. He had the straightaway speed the whole time. It's just the cornering. He couldn't get back to the gas as soon as he wanted. Just pushed straight up the racetrack. It's not the case here. Crafton keeps going to the bottom of the racetrack down the front stretch to try and not only take the shortest way around the track, but trying to break the draft on Johnny Sauter. And here comes Sauter all over the back of the 88 in turns 1 and 2. Ran Enfinger into the top 5 and 5th, Chastain up to 4th. Gillen almost got to the outside of Johnny Sauter off of turn 2. And look at Crafton pull down the back straightaway ahead of Johnny Sauter. Run just a tad bit lower in the corners, trying to make sure the 13 truck doesn't get under him. Crafton now trying to block, and Sauter stays on the bottom through the tri-oval, trying to get a quick draft there off of Matt Crafton. Sauter's so good in the center of the corner compared to Crafton, but Crafton just has that straightaway speed, and now we have a caution for the second time today. So our second caution of the race already for incident with 73 laps to go. Already has the makings to be a caution-filled race. I think we should have known that that was going to come after a lap 1 accident. So drivers at the front of the field are going to stay out. Really, everybody's staying out after this caution. Ben Rhodes back into the top 10. Austin Hill's there, and Brett Moffitt fell out of the top 10, but he's got another chance to redeem himself with another restart here in stage 2. So here we go. Already over a quarter of the way through the race. Crafton leads the field to the green. Johnny Sauter on the outside. Thor Motorsport front row. 10 laps to go in stage 2. Sauter better pull to the bottom quickly into turn 1, and he does. Wow, Gillen tried to cross him over to the outside. Going into turn 1 there. I don't think that's going to work, but Sauter did a great job pulling to the bottom when he could. So that way they weren't going to be side by side like they were on the last restart. Because that costed them a couple laps to get back to Crafton. The laps on these guys' tires is going to help Crafton The restart, I think, a little more than just getting through the gears like he did at the beginning of the stage. The adjustment almost feels like it was the right way to go. And Austin Hill has now cracked the top 5. Moving forward, he has a win at Michigan in his Truck Series career. He won the regular season championship in real life for the Truck Series this season. Although he finished 4th in the actual Truck Series standings of the 4 in the championship race at Phoenix. Trying to clinch himself a playoff spot today. Again, came in 5 points to the good. He scored 3 stage points at stage 1, but he also beat the 2 guys he's racing right now as well. And lucky for him, nobody is at the front of the field looking to win their first race of the year to lock themselves in the playoffs. I should say first win of the year that is outside the playoffs as we run. Yeah, I'm just streaming up in my room. I don't really have like a specific like gaming room. My PC is just my laptop. And I got a bunch of cords everywhere from my TV to the laptop on the PlayStation. Six laps to go, stage 2 now, just over a 1 second lead for Kraft, and these guys aren't closing in on him. Sauter is able to hold on to second. Johnny Sauter's been the clear-cut second favorite. Crafton has really emerged over the last handful of races as the championship favorite, but Johnny Sauter is right there. It just seems like he's been having consistent runs, top 5 almost every race. That's why he's 3rd in the standings right now, and he was putting up a fight. He just didn't have a good run at Eldora. We got a driver on pit road here. We stay green. I think that's Spencer Boyd in the 20 that is on pit road up in smoke. He'll go a lap down, 5 laps to go in the stage, and that might be the end of the day and the end of the playoff hopes for Spencer Boyd. He needed a win to move on. Darren Dill, welcome to the stream. Tips for Talladega, just survival. You really have to be patient. If you don't, you might have trust in your ability. I know I have extreme trust in my ability, and that's why you guys see me race aggressively all the way through the race, and I make it through the race just because I know what my boundaries are. But yeah, if you're in a situation where you don't feel like you can make it, it's not worth trying to, force 3-4 wide. Even if the hole's open and you have the run, just lift a little bit, stay in line until those last 10 to 20 laps where you have to go. Depending on where you're at, I would want to try to get to the front. If you're at the back in the last 30 laps, I think would be the time to go, but you really have to survive. Now, if you're doing a shorter race, though, then you basically just got to go hard from the beginning and just hope for the best of luck. We'll have 2 laps to go this time by in stage 2. 3-second lead for Crafton, looking to sweep the stages here. Darren, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Won't spoil anything for you. But yeah, thanks for watching the series all throughout. I kind of hope for the fan vote NASCAR 21 we get another driver that's like on the brink of retiring and try to get him a championship like Kurt Busch or something of that nature. It would be kind of cool. Or even for the older NASCAR games as well to get somebody else that might have been older at the time. Get them a championship too. That'd be pretty cool. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go this time by at Michigan in stage number 2. Crafton looking to sweep the stages. No lap traffic so far today. We haven't had a long green flag run. Obviously shortened first 2 stages as it is, but we've had a caution for incident in both as well. Yeah, my favorite driver is Ryan Blaney. Huge Ryan Blaney fan. Green and white checker flag in the air. Crafton now has won the first 2 stages at Michigan today. And that leaves 60 laps to go in this race to decide the final 2 playoff spots. Austin Hill finishes 7th in stage number 2. That will give him 7 stage points on the day total. Brett Moffitt finishes 10th again, scoring 2. And Ben Rhodes had a bad restart again, and this is costing him. Rhodes is not having good restarts. He finishes 11th for the 2nd consecutive stage, getting 0 points. That puts Ben Rhodes 1 point to the good over Brett Moffitt going into the final stage. And Austin Hill would be 11 points to the good, 10 points ahead of Rhodes and 11 ahead of Moffitt. Chase Elliott Van Nice. Hey, you got pretty good idea of where the future could be going for him, so that's got to be cool. Green flag back in the air. Crafton did not pit there. That was not by design, but at least he saves a set of tires if he needs it later. 57 laps to go at Michigan. Again, we have a tire limit for the Truck and Xfinity Series on NASCAR Heat 5, 4 sets per race. Crafton's got the clean air advantage. We'll see how he'll do on this restart. He was able to lead every lap in stage 2. And they're already fanning 3 wide. They look like they're close to going 4 wide in turns 3 and 4 there for a moment. Ross Chastain has jumped up to 2nd place. We're nearing the halfway mark here today at Michigan. Guys still battling side by side for 2nd. It's allowing Crafton on a little bit older tires to stay in front of these guys a little bit longer on top of the clean air advantage as well. Shafting plays so much of an effect at Michigan, but so does the air, assumably, despite the fact that this is growing into a multi-groove racetrack. I think within the next year or 2, you're going to be seeing some stellar races at Michigan like you saw back in the late 2000s, early 2010s before the repave. I think we caught glimpses of that this year. It'll transform to more of that, I think, within the next couple seasons. And Chastain looks high, Crafton with a block. And now we're practically pack racing here at Michigan. Sheldon Creed to the bottom looking for 2nd place on Ross Chastain. He might get the spot. Nope, can't quite clear Ross there off of turn 2. Why do they always have the set lap as the final lap? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. Crafton hitting his marks consistently. Oh, gotcha. Because you're running 20 laps. It's the idea of the set lap is the complete lap. So you're not racing to lap 20. You're racing 20 laps, if that makes sense. So if you start the first lap of the race, that's why you're on lap 1. Because if that was the case, if you would get to lap 20 in a 20-lap race, and that would be the checkered flag, then that would mean that you would technically have to start the race at lap 0. And that's not the case. It's 20 completed laps is the idea of that. Or in this case, 100 completed laps for today's race. Ooh, looked like somebody about bounced off the wall back there. I think that was Sheldon Creed in the 2. As Crafton was able to fend everybody off, even on older tires. That is insane. Todd Gilliland has jumped up to second place now. We'll see if he can make a run. We haven't seen Johnny Sauter in a while. He's in second for a large part of the race, especially in stage 2, but he did not have a good restart at the beginning of this final stage. Yeah, I got asked that question in the last stream. Bristol Motor Speedway has been my favorite track since I was a kid. And they never put on a bad race. It doesn't matter what kind of groove they're running on the track, what style of race it is, with what car. I couldn't tell you when there's been a bad Bristol race. I've always been a fan of the short tracks too, but I ever since I was playing NASCAR video games, even when I was younger, it's always my favorite track. Yeah, the All-Star race was awesome. That was my first ever trip to Bristol, and it was surreal, honestly. Much like Talladega, it just felt surreal. It didn't even feel like I was there, but I was. If that makes sense. As I dream of going to these places, I can't imagine whenever I can get to the Daytona 500 for the first time, which it's not looking very likely next year. I had decent hopes for it, but I still don't have anything organized for it or the availability to make sure I can get that week off. Because I don't know exactly what my job outlook's going to be necessarily, because I'm looking for another job right now. But that way I can free up more time to do this. I'm not having to stress to get this stuff in Monday through Wednesday. And not only that, but it'll free up for future scheduling of tracks I want to go to and stuff. Build a career within the NASCAR realm. Also looking for a little higher pay along the way as well. Andrew Hollenbach, welcome back. Matt Crafton is dominating this race. Winning the first 2 stages. He's going to have to pit before everybody else now. The good news is it's a 2-mile racetrack. And if he has a decent-sized lead, he won't have to worry about going a lap down, especially in the truck series with it being shorter laps. 55 miles per hour is the pit road speed limit. If he does have to pit under green if we don't get another caution. And nobody can make it to the end on fuel anyway to the finish. again, Cup Series action at Michigan tomorrow on the channel for NASCAR Heat 5. With this race being ran today, obviously we wouldn't have the truck race tomorrow before the Cup, so we moved the Cup race to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So that will be the lone race. So instead of the doubleheader yesterday, we had it today by surprise because of the DNF at New Hampshire in the Cup Series. And alternate through the different camera angles once again here. Crafton's going to have to hit pit road here fairly soon. He's not going to be able to go too many more laps. And it will be a second pit stop of the day, so we'll have 2 sets of tires left after this next stop. He's going to be close to making it to the end with one more stop as he tries to run this fuel tank out as far as he can. Fuel window for the Truck Series is about 35 to 40 laps at Michigan. So again, it's going to be really close. We'll have to see how much he's actually going to burn if it stays green to the finish. But we know he's got a fast race truck, so that'll obviously help in trying to make it back around if he does have to go fuel only at the very end of the day if this did stay green. It's really the only concern. And he's obviously going to lose the lead when he comes to pit road, and everybody else can go about another 15 laps longer, so we know that everybody else can definitely make it a little more stop. Crafton's going to be the iffy one because he did not pit under the stage break at the end of stage 2. Honestly, Andrew, that challenge would definitely work for me, but it wouldn't be anything I would do for streams because the races would be so short. Obviously, I could get a couple races in. It'd be something I would be willing to, obviously try. Well, I do race from time to time on my own. I don't have a lot of time, but when I do, I'm doing shorter races. Obviously, there's a fuel window, though. That would be without a fuel window, I would guess, with what you're implementing. So Crafton going to hit pit road here. This is the third caution for incident today. And Crafton is not the only one to come to pit road. Tate Fogelman, Spencer Boyd. So Boyd actually did get that racetrack back in the race. And I believe he has gotten a free pass between the end of the last stage and the couple cautions we've had as well. So Boyd's back on the lead lap as well. Green flag back in the air. 38 laps to go. And these guys are looking to be about 2 laps short on fuel. Crafton couldn't get to the bottom on the restart there. Going all the way to the outside. These are 3 wide now off of turn 2. Down the back, look at the fresh tires playing huge dividends for Matt Crafton as he tries to cut back through the field. Into turn 3 with a huge head of steam. Underneath the 99 of Ben Rhodes. 3x3 off of turn 4 for the field here. Austin Hill looking like he should make the playoffs with a top 10 finish today. A little contact. Crafton got in the back of Friesen. Shoves him right past Sheldon Creed, and now he makes a move under Friesen himself. The fresh tires are playing so much. For the 88 of Crafton, as he has already driven himself to second. Sauter, who was able to get to the lead on the restart, is about to lose it immediately after less than 2 laps. And he pulls up and he blocks the 88 off of turn 4. Crafton had to get out of the gas, otherwise he would have ran into the back of him. Big side draft now in the left rear corner panel. And Crafton will take over the race lead into turns 1 and 2 once again. So 35 laps left. We still have 2 sets of tires left. So things are obviously going to pay off here. Everybody has to pit that did not pit under the last caution. Everybody else that did pit under the yellow is about 2 laps short. Kyle Button, welcome to the stream. Billy Kramer, welcome. And again, if you're just tuning in as well, yes, Crafton has taken over the race lead. He's got fresher tires on his race truck right now. We still have other drivers trying to cut through the field on fresher tires as well, although they didn't have as strong of race trucks as Crafton. They're going to try to do their best to get themselves in a winning position to try and make the playoffs. Again, this is the regular season finale for the Truck Series. We're getting down to the end of the race. The points battle right now, Austin Hill coming into the final stage after the first 2 stages were complete is 11 points to the good. But the big battles between Ben Rhodes and Brett Moffitt coming into the final stage. Rhodes was 1 point to the good on Moffitt. Moffitt has been about a spot ahead of him all day, so in all reality, if Moffitt can finish just 1 position ahead of him, it then goes back to the tiebreaker of who finishes better in this race. So basically, what we're looking at here is Ben Rhodes has to beat Brett Moffitt. And if Moffitt beats Rhodes in the race now, Moffitt will get the final spot on points. So it is a straight-up head-to-head battle between those two for the last playoff spot. Obviously, none of them have a win, so that would have been the tiebreaker. Sauter still holding on to second place. He's about 1.5 seconds ahead of Gilliland in third now. So a wacky start to the race where we saw a caution on lap 1. We saw an early caution in stage 2. It took a little bit for there to be a caution here in the final stage. But we've had 3 of them so far for incident today. This will be the final time we're going to alternate through the different camera angles now. I don't think we're going to dominate the Cup race as much as what we've seen domination in this truck race today. We had a very, very good race at Michigan earlier this season. Ryan Blaney was able to get the victory, but it wasn't easy. I remember right, I think we had a late race caution in that one too. A green-white checker. Yeah, I know you said something about only doing it on 1.5 miles and 2-mile racetracks. About it being like 15 laps on the 2-mile tracks and 10 laps on the other racetracks, the 1.5 miles. Yeah, Darren, I watch WWE whenever I can. I'll probably end up being able to catch Raw tonight. This race should get done before the start of it. But I definitely try to make sure I watch every pay-per-view, if not live, the next day. Because during NASCAR season, I'm full board. You know, I have to watch the Cup Series race. I make it a priority. So if the Cup Series race runs long, I'll just wait to watch the pay-per-view until the next day. But yeah, this time of the year, NASCAR for sure. I did watch Survivor Series last weekend too. Or not this weekend, but the weekend prior. I think it was the first pay-per-view I've seen live since like SummerSlam, I think. "26 laps left. Still about 2.5 laps short on fuel here for Crafton. But again, if everybody has to pit to the end of the race anyway, Crafton's already got a big lead. If this stays caution-free, I think he's going to win even if he is short. Just come down and top off on fuel, no big issue. Because again, those drivers that did not pit under the last caution, we know obviously they're not going to make it. They're going to be nowhere close to making it. Tim Irvin, welcome to the stream. "25 laps left. Caution is out again. 4th caution of the race. And look at that running order, how scrambled up it is now. And some of those guys on fresher tires just make their way into the top 10. This is the 3rd pit stop of the race for everybody. So one set of tires left for the rest, but this should be the last pit stop anyway. So again, Brett Moffitt 11th. Ben Rhodes back to 15th. Ben Rhodes is 1 point to the good. Tiebreaker goes to the highest finisher of the race. So it is a straight up battle between those two drivers. Whoever finishes better will get the last spot on points. Austin Hill, only 11 points to the good. But if he just stays in the top 10, he'll easily be able to point his way in. Green flag back in the air. 22 laps to go at Michigan. And will this be the final restart of the race? and got through the gears really well. Ever since that adjustment at the end of stage 1, he has been dominant even on the short run. He gets some pressure on him, but he's been able to hold on to the lead every time and block the lanes. We'll see if he can do the same once again. Johnny Sauter, Todd Gilliland side by side off of turn 2 for second as Gilliland pokes to the inside of Sauter. "20 laps left now to decide who will be in the playoffs." And again, the regular season championship already decided. Matt Crafton clinched it a race early after winning at Eldora last week. And Gillen, who was able to get around Johnny Sauter, is closing in on Matt Crafton for the race lead. Austin Hills poked back into the top 5 again in 5th. He just basically has to take care of his race truck and he'll be in. No sign exactly of where Brett Moffitt and Ben Rhodes are. Sauter, once again, through 3 and 4, gets to the inside of Gilliland. And they are holding each other up. They're still a half a second off the race lead. They are making it so much harder on each other to try and catch Crafton with how hard they're battling. Sauter able to clear the 38 truck of Gilliland right back again. Crafton's hitting his marks perfectly. I mean, he's barely letting out of the gas on both ends of the racetrack pretty much all day. I mean, he's out of the gas for less than a second. And now Brett Moffitt is in the top 5, up to 5th place. So at least we know where Moffitt's at right now. Still no clue where Rhodes is at. Moffitt was 4 spots ahead of him at the time of the caution, but Moffitt also gained at least 1 spot under the pit stops. I'm not sure if Ben Rhodes was able to gain or lose any pit stops there, or how good of a restart he had. Obviously, Moffitt had a pretty good restart. What a day to come in below the cutoff line by 3 points. 2 stage points to Ben Rhodes' 0 in today's race. Makes it a head-to-head battle the rest of the way. Moffitt's doing just enough to try and get that last spot. Still maintaining the lead. Sauter still within a second as he tries to hold off the 38. 15 laps to go, but after so long, Crafton's only going to get faster and faster over the course of the run. Yeah, Tim, I could pretty much kind of spoil the race for you. We were dominating the first half of the race, and then my controller disconnected, and I DNF'd, unfortunately. I should say my controller died on me, because I didn't have it on the charger. I knew it was low on battery, I just kind of forgot about it, unfortunately. That was after leading every lap up to that point, too, about halfway through the race. We were dominant. We had a really fast car. Should not have happened. That was my own fault for just forgetting to plug the controller in before I started. But again, we'll be back tomorrow with some Cup Series action at Michigan. Trying a redemption run there for Ryan Blaney. Needs to pick up the pace. Hamlin finished with a top 5, and Blaney was able to win stage 1 at least. But it is going to be tough to hold on to that points lead. I'll have to do the points myself after this one. For the Cup Series, that is. Again, the trucks are the only series I'm not having to keep track of points myself. We haven't DNF'd in the trucks yet, so far so good there. And that is the main reason why we've seen Matt Crafton not only dominate the second half of the regular season, but winning the regular season championship. No DNFs this year. He's been Mr. Consistent. Only 2 finishes outside the top 10 in the regular season as well. Both those races were in the first 6 races of the season. So he's got a string of 10 straight top 10s if he can finish there in this race. Moffitt still holding on to 5th. He has surged in this final 20-lap dash to the finish. All he has to do is beat Ben Rhodes in the final stage, and he's in the playoffs, and Rhodes will not make it. And I'm sure for the Thor Motorsport team, Kraft and Sauter have dominated the year, and then obviously they know Grant Enfinger is locked in on points already. Sauter and Crafton locked in on wins. All right, thanks for stopping by, Andrew. Hopefully we see you tomorrow. As well for you, Cole. So 10 laps remain here at Michigan. And we have another caution. With 10 laps to go, another caution. Jesse Little's going to hit pit road. He needs a win to make it to the playoffs. He is pitting, going off strategy here. Looks like Jordan Anderson and Tyler Ankrum are the 2 drivers out of the race. And Ben Rhodes is in 10th. On the restart, Moffitt's in 5th. Crafton's going to hit pit road here. He's got 1 set of tires left. Why not? Doesn't need fuel. We're only going to have 6 laps left on the restart, but you saw how the tires panned out last time, and he doesn't want any sort of shot of Jesse Little running through the field on fresh tires and getting the upset in this race. So here we go. Green flag back in the air. Sauter will lead the field to the green. Strategy call worked the last time for Crafton. This is his last set of tires. And we got 12 miles left in Michigan. Not a lot of time, but at the same time, for him to get to the front, it should be pretty easy, as long as he stays out of trouble. We'll stack up in turns 1 and 2. Yeah, again, start time for that race tomorrow is at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tomorrow evening. Sorry, 5:30. 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, my bad. So here we go. 3 wide. Crafton shoots to the inside of Christian Eckes already as we get up to speed at Michigan. 5 laps to go. Can Ben Rhodes catch Brett Moffitt? Moffitt seemingly had the playoff spot locked in if it would have stayed green for those last 10 laps, but now he's got to battle it out to the finish. Look at Crafton already cutting through the field. Not as quick as he did last time, but he's still getting through here pretty quickly. And there's Ben Rhodes, back to 11th now after Crafton gets around him. And a lot of cars in between him and Moffitt. Moffitt's in 6th. He'll drop back to 7th now as Crafton will get around him. Johnny Sutter continues to lead. Four laps to go. Crafton's already up to 2nd. Easy call with the strategy there. Now hoping it stays green to the end as Crafton will get to the lead down the back straightaway with 3.5 laps left. Moffitt tries to hold on Ben Rhodes. It'll be a lead change at the line officially here. I think Sauter had a bad feeling once he saw the 88 pull the pit road under caution that it probably wasn't going to work out, but it was worth trying to stay out and keep the track position, try something different. Yeah, that Cup race tomorrow, we do the full race live streams on the daily, so it's 200 laps, 400 miles at Michigan. Two to go. Now it's just a race to get to the white flag. He's got 2 more miles to get to that point. We've seen a total of 5 cautions today at Michigan. That's quite a bit for a 100-lap race in the Truck Series. It all started with that lap 1 incident. Kind of had a feeling we were going to have a day like we did today with those cautions. Crafton has survived, despite a couple 4-wide restarts at the very beginning of the race. We haven't seen 4-wide since, but we've seen a lot of 3-wide throughout the course of the day as well. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Crafton's pretty much got this race on lock. It'll be his 13th win of the season. Coasting in with the regular season championship and the caution waves for the 6th time today, and that will end the race. So good thing Crafton got to the white flag there. That will end the race. Crafton will win at Michigan. And we will end with 6 cautions. Now we will see who makes the playoffs between Ben Rhodes and Brett Moffitt. Of course, after the victory celebration here from Crafton. And a win on my home track nonetheless as well. The dominant season continues for Crafton. He'll roll into the playoffs as they go into Gateway for the first playoff race for the Truck Series. That will be next week. But for now, what a win here. Pulling it into victory lane. And there you see it. Brett Moffitt will get the last spot on points at the finish of the race today. Finishing in 6th place, Ben Rhodes got up to 9th at the end of the day. And Austin Hill, with the top 10, will also clinch a spot on points. As he will be 10 points to the good on Ben Rhodes. Brett Moffitt, 2 points to the good on Rhodes himself. So Moffitt is in the playoffs, getting that last spot. There you go. There's a look at the 10 drivers that will be in the postseason. Good win there for Crafton. 39.974 was the fastest lap of the race. It was ran by Johnny Sauter. Crafton dominant performance today in Michigan, leading 81 of the 100 laps. And this one, Tyler Hill was on the move. Finished 11th after starting 26th, and a tough break for Anderson as he started 8th but finished 31st. He was one of the couple drivers that DNF'd. Oh, that was another thing here, too. The only drivers that DNF'd in the race today was Jordan Anderson and Tyler Rankin, so only 2 failed to finish in this race. We'll take a look at the playoff grid. We know the 10 drivers that will be in the playoffs. We'll take a look at the seeding here before we get out of here for the night. We know that Crafton will have the number 1 seed. That is for certain. So there you go, 160 laps at Gateway. Worldwide Technology Raceway will be the first race of the playoffs. We'll take you through the round of 10 is going to be Worldwide Technology Raceway. Then we got Canadian Tire and Bristol, so pretty stacked. First round of races, round number 2 will be Las Vegas, Talladega, and Martinsville will be the round of 8. And then the Championship 4 at Phoenix that we all know got moved this season. And the standings, there you take a look at it. A pretty good cushion there for Kraft with those 13 wins. That's going to definitely help him. 20 stage wins on the season. We dominated. We had a rough start at the very beginning of the year. Those 15 playoff points for winning the regular season championship obviously help with the 98 that we have total there. Or I should say the 100 playoff points that we have total. 98 points above the cutoff line. So again, the round of 10, 2 drivers will be eliminated after the next 3 races. And the number 1 seed, the regular season championship, Matt Crafton, followed by Johnny Sauter, will be the 2 seed. The 3 seed is going to be Ross Chastain. Stuart Friesen, the 4 seed. 5 seed of Sheldon Creed, followed by Gilliland. 6th, 7th will be Enfinger. And the last driver above the cutoff line will be Zane Smith by 1 point ahead of Austin Hill and Brett Moffitt, who are both 1 point below the playoff cutoff line, starting the playoffs. So that is going to wrap it up here for this one. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We do these full race live streams with a realistic broadcast on the daily. We'll have Michigan tomorrow for the NASCAR Cup Series side of things on NASCAR Heat 5. 4 races to go in the regular season there. It'll be a lot of fun to see that regular season championship battle that is very close, very tight between Ryan Blaney and Denny Hamlin, as well as to see if we get a new winner to lock themselves in as well. And again, the full race live streams with the realistic broadcast on the daily are because I am, or I should say, subscribed to help me out on my journey so I can hopefully one day broadcast real races within the NASCAR realm. That is the reason why I do these full race live streams on the daily. So thanks for all the support you have given me on that one. Hit the like button down below on your way out of here as well. If you enjoy the race, the commentary, the video in general, also that helps with the YouTube algorithm. So hit the like button anyway so we can get the videos out there to the public on other related NASCAR content. So thanks everybody here tonight. And I'll catch you tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you then.